opportunity that we are having, very limited opportunities at that point of time. And our professors tried a lot in placing all of us in all the industries. And really we thankful to that. That is why we are giving back today with that motivation. At least one student or one researcher or at least one enthusiast, okay, if he learns beyond what is happening in the current period and looking beyond, okay, and those are the people who can grow. So I grown simple engineering trainee to today chief technology officer, and even sailing in multiple boats, right? Uh, that is the kind of motivation. Thank you. Yeah, I'm done. So probably we can contact Shailaja Garu, and so we'll take it forward. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
A very good afternoon. I'm pleased to welcome all to this felicitation function of Professor N. Subrahmanyam, Professor, Electrical Engineering Department and Dean, International Relations and Alumni Affairs. We are honored with the presence of our Director, Professor N.V. Ramana Rao, Deans, Heads, Faculties and Alumni of the Department. I request the dignitaries to kindly grace the dais. I invite Professor N. Subrahmanyam and Srimati N. Subrahmanyam, Professor N.V. Ramana Rao, Director, NIT Warangal, retired Professor of the Department, Professor P.V. Ramana Rao in online mode, retired Professor M. Saidulu Sir, accompanied with Professor B.L. Narsimharaju Sir, Head Electrical Engineering Department, and Professor M. Shailaja Kumari, Coordinator of the seminar. Sir, accompanied with Professor B.L. Narsimharaju Sir, Head Electrical Engineering Department, and Professor M. Shailaja Kumari, Coordinator of the seminar. I request the dignitaries to proceed for the lighting of the lamp. I now request Professor M. Shailaja Kumari to present the biography of Professor N. Subrahmanyam.
Good afternoon. So first I present about the series of events that we have conducted in the honor of Professor N. Subrahmanyam on the eve of his superannuation, and then I present the biography of Professor N. Subrahmanyam. So as part of, in honor of Professor N. Subrahmanyam on the eve of his superannuation on 31st December 2022, so the department has organized a lecture series in the area of smart electric grid for sustainable energy future in association with Hitachi Energy India. And the Hitachi Energy is actually supporting us right from the inception of the new MTech Smart Electric Grid program. So they have actually participated even in the designing of the curriculum for MTech Smart Electric Grid program. And then on for the demand, looking at the demand for smart electric grid. And we have been conducting several programs in association with Hitachi Energy. And they were very much impressed by the amount of contribution made by Professor N. Subrahmanyam towards this new MTech program. And they have come forward to honor him with this lecture series. This lecture series has actually started from December 15th. So we had a first lecture on power utility perspectives on data analytics for asset longevity by Mr. Nihar Raj. He is Vice President, Operation and Maintenance of Adani Transmission. And next lecture we had on 19 December, Technology and Digitalization Trends for Smart Electric Grid by Mr. Akilur Rahman. He is Chief Technology Officer from Hitachi Energy India. And next lecture we had on 21st December, Power System Modeling and Analysis for Energy Transition Towards a Carbon Neutral Future by Mr. Alexander. He is Manager of Power Systems of the Future, Hitachi Energy. He actually spoke from Switzerland office. And in addition to this, we had organized a one-day seminar to honor the services of Professor N. Subrahmanyam. And today we had a seminar on green energy and e-mobility, efforts to achieve a decarbonized society. And this was also done in association with Hitachi Energy India. And the first lecture was the last lecture of the lecture series. And this was again delivered by none other than our Shri N. Venu, who was the alumni of the department. And he is MD and CEO of Hitachi Energy India and South Asia. And the title of the lecture was Sustainable Energy Future Needs, Smart Electric Grid. And the second session we had was by Sri KBV Ramkumar. He is also our alumni from BTech. And he is currently Manager, Real-Time System Operations at SRLDC and Grid India. Earlier it was known as Power System Operation Corporation, POSOCO. And his topic was Grid Operational Challenges with Renewable Energy. And after lunch, from 2 p.m. onwards, we had a session by Sri Srinivas Reddy Guram. He was our MTech Power System Engineering alumni, and he is currently NITW Hyderabad TEC Chair and Vice President. And his talk was on green energy mobility solutions for agriculture, health care, and automation industry. And now at 3:30, we have scheduled the felicitation function. So coming to the profile of Professor Subrahmanyam Garu, highlights of his career include, he was born on 30th December 1957. So today happens to be his birthday also. So many happy returns of the day, sir. So he was born on 30th December 1957, and he obtained his BTech in Electrical Engineering in 1978, MTech in Power Systems in 1980, and MTech in Computer Science in 1993, and PhD in Electrical Engineering in 1998. All these degrees, all 4 degrees from the then Regional Engineering College and now known as NIT Warangal. And then he joined as teaching assistant in the Department of Electrical Engineering on 2nd January 1981, promoted as lecturer in the year 1982, senior lecturer in the year 1988, selection grade lecturer in the year 1996, and assistant professor in 1999, and professor in the year 2012. And he was awarded PhD degree for his thesis titled Some Aspects of Intelligent Control-Based Power System Stabilizers. He published 3 book chapters, 11 papers in peer-reviewed journals, and about 14 publications in conferences. He guided 3 PhD scholars in the area of numerical methods-based optimization algorithms in power system operation and distribution systems. He was investigator of research project in the area of tariff modeling, He was co-investigator of a research project in the area of distribution systems. He designed and implemented a distribution monitoring and automation project for NIT campus, guided a number of BTech and MTech projects in the area of simulation software and power system control hardware. And he was instrumental in design, development, and implementation of computer lab in the department for UG and PG students, and involved in curriculum revision, involved in the modernization of circuits, power systems, and microprocessor laboratories, involved in the conduct of short-term courses, seminars, workshops, and he has given a new dimension of contributing to the department by way of infrastructure development in the department, purchases in the laboratories, and department laboratories development, where his contribution to the department is immense. He is instrumental in the launch of new MTech Smart Electric Grid program, and also coordinated the establishment of state-of-the-art Smart Electric Grid Lab in collaboration with Hitachi Energy India Limited through an MOU. He was also instrumental in setting up Smart Electric Grid Lab in collaboration with Hitachi Energy, and in all, over the COVID period, the 2 years of COVID period, he contributed to development of 3 new laboratories in the department, namely the Smart Electric Grid Lab, Smart Grid Simulation Lab, Embedded System Lab. And he was also active contributor in space reorganization and renovation of the department. And final approval document, and if you ask him what are the number of bays for the department, any laboratory, I think it is on his fingertips. Even in sleep, if you ask him, sir, what is the number of bays for this lab, he can tell you. And he coordinated the purchase of equipments in the department almost for the last 25 years. And he was also department coordinator for TechWave, and instrumental in the procurement of several equipment and softwares worth about rupees 100 lakhs in the span of 1 year. And he was reviewer for textbooks in the subjects of microcontroller and distribution systems being published by reputed international publishers. He was a member of interview board for selection of scientists by DRDO. He has been teaching PG and UG courses. Some of the courses include computer organization and architecture, distribution systems, 16-bit microprocessor and microcontrollers, economic operation of power systems, computer programming, HVDC systems. And he was member of several consultancy projects taken up by the department in the areas of vetting of electromechanical and instrumentation systems, design for the implementation of several lift irrigation schemes, and power system studies and testing. He had held several administrative and co-curricular activities. So some of them are listed: warden of student hostels, staff advisor of technical associations. He was member of organizing committee of several alumni meets, faculty in charge of alumni affairs, and currently he is Dean International Relations and Alumni Affairs. So some of the significant events include he is instrumental in mobilization of funds of Alumni Institute Interaction and institution of award for sports persons sponsored by 1982 batch, a student assistance fund sponsored by 1995 and 1997 batches, and an NITW Alumni Innovation Ignite Fund promoted by 1996 batch to spur innovation and entrepreneurship culture in the institution. He is successful in providing alumni support to a number of professional and cultural activities by alumni in the form of sponsorships, extension lectures, project guidance, and system development and management initiatives. He is also proactive to facilitate alumni-student interface and extend benefit of expertise of alumni to students. In this direction, several talks were delivered by alumni. And one of such initiative was our Smart Electric Grid Laboratory. He has also participated in the alumni-related activities sponsored by the college, participated in the workshop on tracer studies to trace, keep track of, and involve alumni in the development of the institution, participated in biannual alumni meets organized and acted as panel member for panel discussions on Alumni Institute Interaction, presently working the framework and modalities for the modalities of operation of NITW endowment fund established by the college to channel the physical, financial, and human resources of alumni for the growth, development, and image building of the institution. In all, he is a very simple man and he's a humble personality. And another unique quality of Professor Subrahmanyam is he appreciates people. So working him for the last 25 years in the department, I have noticed that he has a very good quality of appreciating people for whatever the work they are doing and encouraging people. And he has a very good drafting skills. I was the most benefited as head of the department for the last 2 years because he had shown a lot of interest in purchases of the department. Even during COVID time, we were working on purchasing of the purchases for the department as well as renovation part of the department. And there is a matrix, actually a time management matrix, which is given by Stephen Covey. I made a matrix during my observations for the last 25 years. So if you make a matrix between work and speak, so there are people who work and speak. There are people who work but who do not speak. There are people who do not work but speak. There are people who do not work and who do not speak. So speak is not only speaking but discussion, interaction with others where we come up and evolve with better ideas. So I read Professor Subrahmanyam is a person who actually has a good quality of speaking to others, having discussion with others, and coming up with greater outputs, and also having a good work culture. I have highest regards for all his contribution to the department and to the institution in my 25 years of association with Professor Subrahmanyam. And coming to Madam Mrs. Subrahmanyam, she did her schooling and intermediate in Hyderabad, and she did her BCom from Bangalore, and later she completed her BD degree and joined teaching profession and worked in Warangal Public School and also Gabriel School, where she was teacher to a number of children of our NIT Warangal campus. And I'm also proud that my 2 kids also, they were madam students in Gabriel School. And with this, I wish Professor N. Subrahmanyam a very happy and healthy, peaceful, retired life, and it is the beginning of next innings. So I wish that he orients himself in another dimension in contributing to the society in the future. So wish you all the best, sir. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that exhaustive biography. I would like to add one more point to it. Professor Subrahmanyam is the one person whom we have regularly gone to whenever there is some doubt related to administrative processes. So he's the perfect person to guide you for that. I now invite Professor B.L. Narasimharaju, sir, Head Electrical Engineering Department, for his presidential remarks.
So, respected chief guest of the today's felicitation function of Professor N. Subrahmanyam on the eve of his superannuation, and the guest Professor N. Subrahmanyam and other dignitaries of the dais and of the dais, colleagues, teaching colleagues, non-teaching colleagues, and all my friends present here. So I feel very happy to express about my association with Professor N. Subrahmanyam and his and my experience and observation with Professor N. Subrahmanyam. In fact, I joined this institute in the year 2012 when Professor Subrahmanyam was the head of the department. So, sir is a very simple and nice person who always guide and support his colleagues and the staff with a positive encouragement and motivation. Also, he is a very good team leader, and he knows how to make people work with timelines. So that is the one thing I noticed with Professor Subrahmanyam. And further, since my joining here at NIT Warangal, I witnessed that the professor is actively involved in various activities, academic and research activities, and also developmental activities in the department and also at the institute as well. And to name few activities where I closely associated with Professor Subrahmanyam in various activities of the department, to name few, so I was a part of, sir was a department coordinator for TechUp and is also instrumental in procurement of several equipment and softwares. And also he is a nodal officer of solar rooftop power project at the institute and a group lead of NBA Works Committee of the department and member of the department Space Reorganization Committee and the Department Purchase Committee. So these are all the committees, the different committees where Professor, he was the main leading and guiding person, in which I was also a member of all these committees in the department. So I sincerely appreciate and acknowledge the professor's contribution to the department's growth in terms of academic and research development, particularly as Madam also mentioned, so his contribution towards the augmentation and development of academic labs, infrastructure in the department are the notable and worth with his guidance and support. Thank you so much, sir, for your contribution to our department growth with your untied efforts and guiding support all the way, and also at the institute level as well. And to tell about little bit about Madam, she is a very humble and caring person who always cares for others with a real feel of concern. So thank you so much, Madam, for that matter. So with this, I wish a very healthy, happy and peaceful retired life, sir, and also Madam. So thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Gratitude for a mentor like Professor N. Subrahmanyam can only be expressed through the heart and feelings, and it cannot be physically manifested. But as a ritual, we'll be felicitating Professor N. Subrahmanyam by the dignitaries on the dais. Thank you. I now request our beloved director, Professor N.V. Ramana Rao, to address the gathering.
Today's retiree, Professor N. Subrahmanyam, Dean International Relations and Alumni Affairs, Madam Subrahmanyam, Madam Shailaja, Professor B.L. Narasimharaju, Head Department of Electrical Engineering, Professor Saidlu, my other distinguished colleagues, deans, advisors, faculty members, and my dear students. At the outset, I would like to wish Professor N. Subrahmanyam a very happy, active, and a prosperous retired life. In fact, I remember when I got the order for extension, temporary extension, he was the first to respond saying that, thank you, you will be there for my retirement function. So in fact, I was on a holiday and I was supposed to come today evening. And then I saw his message and I said, because he was the only person who responded with that message, I made sure that I come today, and my wife, she is coming today, and I came yesterday itself. So Professor Subrahmanyam has already been known and circulated. He is a renowned professor of electrical engineering at NIT WARANGAL. He has the distinction of doing his undergraduate, 2 MTechs and PhD at NIT WARANGAL. Of course, my association with him was during the last 5 years as directorship. He was very proactive in alumni activities, and he was instrumental in many of the developmental activities which the alumni have taken up at the institute. In fact, the solarization of NIT Warangal was done totally under his leadership, and today we are able to save huge amounts of current charges. So thanks to him, a lot of revenue is saved. Not only that, he was instrumental in setting up the Smart Electric Grid Laboratory and the MTech course along with Dr. Madam Shailaja. And today I am very happy that this is one of the most popular courses which the Ministry of Education also recognized and has been quoting it at various platforms when referring to NIT Warangal. In fact, Professor Subrahmanyam as a person is quite jovial. As Madam already told, he is very good in his English articulation of words and choosing the right words at the right time. We had several meetings in the Dean. During the Deans and Advisors meeting, he generally keeps quiet, doesn't react, he just observes, and he doesn't bring any complicated issue to the director. He resolves himself. He's such a man who can handle things. And during his deanship, a lot of alumni meets have taken place. We are fortunate, that the NIT Endowment Fund rules are being finalized. It could not be finalized totally, but he was a person, along with Professor C.S.R.K. Prasad, who initiated the endowment guidelines. And today, that is one fund which is receiving huge amounts. We have crossed more than 1 crore in less than a span of 6 months. So pure thanks to the effort of Professor N. Subrahmanyam, he has been doing excellently well, whatever role we have given to him. And he used to give me a lot of advice in the WhatsApp. Of course, not in the group, at the personal level. And this, that, and I really admire his advice and only wish him all the best. I always say, whenever there is some retirement function. So, Professor Subrahmanyam, now you will not have any more tension, you will have only pension. In fact, it's better to get retired because I realized, that once I got extension, I got hypertension and hypotension. So, you will not have to any worry about hypertension email. Only you'll have only vacation and vacation. But anyway, he is a very active member, and he told me that he'll be coordinating some courses with the help of alumni and interacting regularly. He's a happy man. His son is well settled in US. Recently, he was blessed with a granddaughter, and I'm really pleased that I had the fortune of being associated with him for a duration of 5 years. Thank you very much for all your advice, and wish you all the best. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for gracing the function. I now request Professor Saidolu sir to address the gathering.
సభకు నమస్కారం అండి. My good friend over the long 50 years almost, and take the pleasure of calling him as Agraja, Professor N. Subrahmanyam, and his Mrs. Padma Garu, our beloved director Raman Rao Garu, and who is spokesman of our parent department, Professor B.L.N. Narasimharaj Garu. And I take the privilege of saying that grown-up child of electrical family, Professor Sailaja Madam. All my good friends who are sitting in front row and elsewhere, and more particularly the family members of my Agraja, Savitra Kaya, Adilashma Kaya, Kotesra Annaya, Vadina, Babu, Pedababu, and many of the people who have been invited by department and also by our Agrajas and Subrahmanyam. Very good afternoon to all of you. It's a big privilege to associate with my own Agrajas function. I was taken big surprise when Madam told that, sir, you will be invited onto the dais. I said, some senior colleagues and other friends will be there. And somehow Madam told that, sir, you have to. Anyhow, that I do get opportunity to share my feelings when I come and felicitate Subrahmanyam Garu. But 73 onwards to till recent 2021, when I retired, we were together, and many occasions were there where we actually tried to improve the parent department. And he is one person already mentioned by Salya Madam, one person who comes forward to do anything that is related to the parent institute and parent department. You want to have the chance of taking up the solar plant. I was a Dean Administration, and Professor Srinivasrao, the then director, said that why don't you really go and visit myself and Srinivasrao, our parent department, another professor. We went to Tiruchirappalli, and keeping the hectic work that in Dean Administration, I requested our good friend Subrahmanyam, that one word he said, yes, we will do it. All the time he was thinking how to really save energy, and he was the person who has done something related to the SCADA for our distribution network also. Many times we have the chance of looking at other side of personal life also. He is one person who wants to spend as much time as possible with good friends. And if there is a chance to spend 24 hours, you can. There is a chance to sleep 24 hours, you can sleep. That's now. Both versions are there. Without a gap, he can work for 24 hours. Without a feel of hungry, he can sleep for 24 hours. And at the same time, he is the one person remembers things by date wise. Very interesting aspect is by date wise he remembers. On so-and-so date, so-and-so things have taken place. And his memory is very sharp. In fact, we call him as, all my classmates used to call him as a boss. Then nobody knows why he was popularly named as a boss. In second year or third year, I still not sure, but PSB Murthy was questioned by him number of times, how do you explain this, how do you explain, from EC department. So very next day, PSB Murthy sir came and asked, yes, Mr. Subrahmanyam, my boss, now tell, what is your question? So thereafter, almost all our classmates used to call him as a boss. So I have a feel really you deserve the word of boss, because in our entire electrical, along with 278 students of our 1978 batch, they respect you, they take your name as a boss only. And another name that my good friend is having is Daddy. Some of his close friends used to call him as also Daddy. Reason is also an elderly person outlook. His background is very unique, I remember still, because he is the son of a retired superintendent engineer and a very notable person. That time, and his background allowed him to really show his strength in every walks of his life. I, as a good friend, many things are there, our friends are going to share. Have a feel of that. It is going to continue for the rest of our life because we are in the same GMR apartment. And whenever there is an opportunity to call, he immediately put a number and calls me. I used to have a chance that, Anaya, can you do this? Except for one thing, if you don't want to really have a chance of his attention on the day, don't disturb. Otherwise, you can disturb any time and ask, whether it is of solar, smart electric grid, or of, there is another unique part which we have done for the department, not necessarily often as a credit, but it is of lift irrigation projects. Just, I say, Anaya, today I received some so-and-so lift irrigation project. Can you make a draft copy of it? Within 10 minutes or within half an hour, it is ready on the table. So he is having a complete command over the many of the things, and I believe his energy is going to be there for future years. Even we are not going to be the party for the official parties of the parent department, but myself and Subrahmanyam, I believe we being the total alumni for all 48, 49 years, will have a feel of that. Any delta contribution that comes from him or from me or together would like to contribute, and we salute parent department and parent institute. We wish that Annaya and Padmaja, along with the grandchild and children, are going to have the wonderful future with good health. Ultimately, good health is very important. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. I now request Professor B.L. Narasimharaju, sir, Head Electrical Department, and Professor M. Shailaja Kumari, Coordinator of the seminar, to felicitate Director, sir, and Professor Saidulu. I now request all the faculty members of Electrical Engineering Department to come on stage for the photograph. This would be followed by non-teaching staff. I request the non-teaching staff to please come on stage. I request the dignitaries to take the chairs in the audience, please. We'll now move ahead with the I request Professor P.V. Ramana Rao, retired professor who also happens to be the teacher of Professor N. Subrahmanyam, to address the gathering. So you can now speak.
ఎక్కడ అంటే త్రూ ఫోన్ లేదా త్రూ ల్యాప్టాప్ డాక్టర్ ఎన్వి రమణారావు, డైరెక్టర్ NIT వరంగల్. ప్రొఫెసర్ నరసింహరాజు, హెడ్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్. ప్రొఫెసర్ సైదులు, డాక్టర్ శైలజ కుమారి, and our dear Professor N. Subrahmanyam and Mr. Subrahmanyam and all other faculty who are present in the function, online and offline. Good afternoon to all. This is Professor P.V. Rangarao, retired professor from Civil Department. I retired in 2010, having worked there for nearly 4 decades, 40 years. My association with Professor N. Subrahmanyam is twofold. Firstly, he was my student in the undergraduate, postgraduate levels, as well as he was my scholar during his PhD program. Later, when he joined the department in 1980, we were together for nearly 3 decades, 30 years, and my association with him started from that time onwards. In those days, he has rendered remarkable service to the department in several aspects, as people have already mentioned, in the development of laboratories, in the purchase of equipment for the various laboratories, which is essential for the development of any department. And he was also interaction with alumni, so several aspects. So he is a person with several facets, and really I got maximum benefit when I was the head of the department and when I was the section head of power systems. He was helping me a lot, and I acknowledge with thankfully the help I received on this platform. So he made my duration of headship and section head very, very smooth and peaceful. There are so many things I can talk about, but people have already talked about me. And I don't want to take much time, except that I wish him a very, very... one thing is, I'm happy that I've seen Felicitation of Professor Saidulu also at the same time. Both Saidulu and Subrahmanyam, physically they were 2 eyes to me when I was head of the department. They were so moving so smoothly and helping me a lot during those days. I cannot forget those days actually. So I once again thank both of them for rendering such a assistance to me. And because since Saidulu also has retired, I wish both of them a very, very happy, peaceful and healthy retirement. Thank you once more.
Yeah, thank you, sir. We will now throw open the stage to whosoever wants to express their feelings. For Subrahmanyam, sir.
టుడే స్టార్స్ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం బాస్ అంటాం. మాకు సైదు సార్ చెప్పారు, మా అలుమిని అసోసియేషన్లో ఈజ్ నోన్ యాజ్ బాస్. బాస్ కూడా కాదు, బాసు. మేడం అండ్ డైరెక్టర్, రిజిస్ట్రార్, రిటైర్డ్ కొలీగ్స్ అండ్ స్టూడెంట్ ఫ్రెండ్స్. సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం గారి గురించి మీ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ కంటే ఎక్కువగా నాకే ఎక్కువ పరిచయం. ఎందుకంటే ఇవి లైక్ మైండెడ్ ఫెలోస్ అంటాం కదా, మేమిద్దరం బాగా కలిసి తిరిగే వాళ్ళం కొన్ని కారణాల వల్ల. I'll tell you 3 reasons why we became close friends. ఇప్పుడు కొంచెం పరిస్థితులు బాగున్నాయి, ఒకప్పుడు పరిస్థితులు చాలా ఘోరంగా ఉండేది. వన్ వాజ్ ద పర్చేస్ సెక్షన్. పర్చేస్ సెక్షన్ అంటే ఇట్ వాజ్ లైక్, మేబీ సీనియర్స్ నో ఇట్ బెటర్, ఇట్ వాజ్ లైక్ అవర్ ర్యాగింగ్. లోపలికి వెళ్ళి బయటకు వచ్చామంటే నథింగ్ ఈజ్ పర్చేస్. పర్చేస్ సెక్షన్ వాజ్ సో డిఫికల్ట్, ఓన్లీ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం కుడ్ గెట్ ద పర్చేస్ సెక్షన్స్ క్లియర్డ్ ఎవ్రీ టైమ్. సో వీ యూస్ టు కాంటాక్ట్ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం, అంటే ఏం టెక్నిక్ వాడతావా, ఎందుకంటే please don't mind that committee was something very serious committee. When you go inside, purchase committee used to rag us. It worse than ragging. చాలా మంది తెలుసు. సో ఎట్లా సంపాదించుకుంటావా, అంత ప్రతి ఎక్విప్మెంట్ ఈస్ పర్చేస్డ్ బై సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం ఇన్ వన్ గో. బట్ ఆల్ అదర్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్స్ హ్యాస్ టు ఫేస్, maybe seniors know it was, nobody used to dare to go to the purchase section at all for some reasons, because stringent rules or maybe the attitude of the meeting itself. But Subrahmanyam has a knack, ఎప్పుడు ఆయన అడిగిన ఎట్లా కొంటావు బాసు అని, we used to get the techniques, how to get the things done by the procurement committee. But of course things have changed now, it a different now scenario, but it was really a season where all people used to contact Subrahmanyam for purchasing the equipment. And in fact, as madam mentioned, most of the instruments are purchased by him only in the lab and all entire department. Second thing is the Senate law. There are very electrical department, and that's ఆ రీజన్ తోటే మా అబ్బాయిని ఎలక్ట్రికల్లోనే పెట్టాను, దో ఈ గాట్ కంప్యూటర్ సైన్స్. ఎలక్ట్రికల్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్లో ఒక వండర్ఫుల్ యూనిటీ ఉంటుంది. దే ఆల్వేస్ ఫైట్. దేర్ ఆర్ స్టూడెంట్స్ హియర్, ఐమ్ టెలింగ్ ఓపెన్లీ, ది ఎలక్ట్రికల్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఈస్ ద ఓన్లీ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ విచ్ ఫైట్స్ ఫర్ ద స్టూడెంట్స్. ఎంత న్యాక్ ఉంటుందంటే, దేర్ ఆర్ 3-4 పీపుల్ హియర్. ఫస్ట్ ఒక పర్సన్ లేస్తాడు, చిన్న ప్రపోజల్ చెప్తాడు, ఓన్లీ 1 sentence. సెకండ్ ఇంకో ఆయన లేస్తాడు, ఇంకొక సెంటెన్స్ వాడతాడు. మాకు అర్థమైపోతుంది ఇదేదో గట్టిగా ఉంటుంది. తర్వాత సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం స్టార్ట్ చేస్తారు, ఇక కథ మొదలు పెడతారు. అప్పుడు మేము అందరం అనుకుంటాం, ఇక వదిలేసేయండి, ఇచ్చేస్తాం సార్, అప్రూవ్డ్ అంటాం. సార్ ఇస్ ద వండర్ఫుల్ యూనిటీ. అంటే హౌ దే ప్రజెంట్ ఇట్ ఈస్, ఒక ఆయన ముందు పెడతారు, ఒక ఆయన సపోర్ట్ చేస్తాడు, ఫైనల్లీ ఇట్ ఈస్ డిక్లేర్డ్ బై సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం. వెన్స్ ఈ స్టార్ట్స్ నో, ఇక వదిలిపెట్టడు, ఇచ్చేయాల్సిందని ఇచ్చేస్తాను అనమాట. ఆల్ ప్రపోజల్స్ బై ఎలక్ట్రికల్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్, సో యూనిటీ. బట్ దట్ వాస్ అన్ఫార్చునేట్లీ నాట్ ది అదర్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్స్ వేర్ వీ ఆల్సో ఫైట్ ఇన్ సెనెట్ with different senates. But that is a unity I learned from the Subrahmanyam sir. Third thing is the alumni. I think మేమిద్దరం చేసినంత పని ఎవ్వరు చేయలేదు. ఎక్కడ పట్టుకొచ్చామంటే, అసలు ఏమీ లేని దగ్గర నుంచి ఇవాళ అలుమిని అసోసియేషన్ ఇంత గొప్పగా అయిందంటే బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ద మై బాస్. చాలా కష్టపడ్డాం. అంటే అసలు అడ్రస్లు తెలియక, అసలు బైలాస్ రాసుకోవడానికి ఎక్కడెక్కడో కాంటాక్ట్ చేస్తూ, ఆ రోజు మట్టిలో చిన్న మొక్క కూడా కాదు, ఒక గింజ వేసాము. ఈరోజు పెద్ద మర్రి చెట్టు అయిపోయి పనుల కోసం కొట్టుకుంటున్నారు, అన్ఫార్చునేట్లీ. బట్ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం ఈజ్ ద మెయిన్ పిల్లర్. ఒకవేళ అలుమిని అసోసియేషన్ ఉంది అంటే, ఆ బిల్డింగ్లో ఉందంటే, అది మెయిన్ పిల్లర్ మై సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం. అండ్ రియల్లీ కాంట్రిబ్యూషన్. ఇంకొక గొప్పతనం ఏంటంటే, చాలామంది తెలియని సీక్రెట్, ఇంతవరకు నేను ఆయన కోపంగా చూడలేదు. ఎన్నోసార్లు నేనే అంటాను, బాసు తిట్టొచ్చు కదా అవన్నీ అంటే, ఎందుకు బాసు అంటాడు. సో అసలు కోపడలేదు, ఎప్పుడు కూడా ఎవరిని కోపడాడు. ఎంతవరకు అంటే, తనని ఏమైనా కామెంట్ చేసినా కానీ కోపడాడు. అసలు నాకు అది ఆశ్చర్యం, అంత ఓపిక ఎలా వస్తుందా, నేనే రెచ్చగొడతాను, బాస్ మనకు కొడదాం పద తిడదాం పద అంటాను. కానీ వదిలే బాసు అంటాడు. ఆ టెక్నిక్ సార్, ఐ విల్ ఫాలో యూ నాట్ టు గెట్ ఇరిటేటెడ్. చాలాసార్లు ఇరిటేషన్ వస్తుంది. నిన్న 24 hours అయిందంతే, వీ గాట్ ఎ వెరీ బ్యాడ్ మెసేజ్. అసలు బాస్ ముఖంలో బాధ లేదు, ఏం లేదు, అసలు ఏమంటారు, స్థితపజ్ఞులు అంటారు కదా, ఏం వచ్చినా అసలు ఏం రియాక్షన్ లేదు. నేనన్నా, ఐ ఫెల్ట్ ఇట్ వెరీ బ్యాడ్. రిటైర్మెంట్ డే, హౌ ఫుల్ ఎనీబడి కెన్ కాల్ హిమ్ టు కోర్ట్ అని అన్నాను. అంటే వదిలే బాస్ అన్నాడు. నేను అసలు నిజంగా 24 hours ఎంత ఓపిక ఉందంటే, గ్రేట్ బాస్, ఐ రియలీ అప్రిషియేట్ యువర్ పేషెన్స్. ఎవడిన్ననుకున్నా తనదేందో తను చేసుకుంటూ పోతాడు, ఎవరిని పట్టించుకోడు. అందుకే మేము వెరీ క్లోజ్, అసలు ఫ్యామిలీ ఫ్రెండ్స్. అంటే మంచి, మా ఇంట్లో ఎప్పుడు తిరిగినా కానీ వస్తారు, మా పిల్లలకు బాగా ఎంకరేజ్ చేస్తారు. మా అబ్బాయికి ఎంకరేజ్ చేసి పిహెచ్డీ చేయాలరా అని చేర్పించింది కూడా ఆయనే. ఆయన చేయించడం కోసం కాదు, చెయ్యి నువ్వు అని చెప్పి కూడా ఆయనే. సో నిజంగా మాకు చాలా ఆప్తుడు. ఎన్నో విషయాల్లో లైక్ మైండెడ్ ఫెలోస్ అనమాట మేము. ఇక మేడం గారు ఆల్రెడీ చెప్పారు, మా పిల్లలకు టీచరు గేబ్రియల్ స్కూల్లో. ఆల్ మై చిల్డ్రన్ ఆర్ వెల్ సెటిల్డ్ మేడం, రియల్లీ బ్లెస్సింగ్స్ ఫర్ యూ. అండ్ Subru, enjoy with the grandchildren, forget about all these people, enjoy with the grandchildren. I mean, happy, peaceful, retired life. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, Mr. Murli Krishna will address the gathering. He is online. He is the son of Professor Subrahmanyam.
So,
Congratulations, by the way.
thank you, thank you. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak today. I'm Murli. I'm the son of Professor Subrahmanyam and Padma. So everyone have already spoken about my dad, his journey, his fancy nicknames, boss, daddy, etc. To give you an indication of his illustrious journey thus far, I want to showcase a little bit about how he and my mom have raised me as a child, and whoever I am and whatever I am today is completely due to their upbringing, and I'm extremely fortunate and happy that I have them in my life and they are my parents. And going forward, obviously, given his journey thus far, I'm selfishly looking forward to spending a lot more time with him as they have now transitioned into a promotion as grandparents as of 2 weeks ago. So we are earnestly looking forward to spending time with my mom and dad as and when they're ready. But thank you, everyone. And mom and dad, wish you a very, very happy, prosperous, healthy, and joyful retired life. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll now read a message from one of the classmates of Professor Subrahmanyam, Mr. P. Sastry. Okay. Okay, we'll first...
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. I have known Professor Subrahmanyam more as boss from 1975. I was 2 years junior to him. He has been wonderful to me in so many ways. He used to give me his textbooks, and then once I left the campus, we were in touch. And whenever I need some advice, I would reach out to him, and he was always there for me. One of the things that was particularly a lot of help to me was his help in organizing the BNBP course for last 2 years. And I hope he will remain active for the years to come and play a big role in bringing alumni and institute together. Wish you all the best, boss and Padma Garu. I'm sure Murali timed it well. All the best. Enjoy your retirement.
Am I audible? Okay. Beloved Director, Professor N.V. Raman Rao Garu, Professor B.L. Narsimharaju Garu, Head EED, Professor M. Saidulu Garu, faculty members of Electrical Department, and other attendees of this retirement function. A very good afternoon to all of you. My association with Professor N. Subrahmanyam Garu dates back to year 1984. He taught us 2 courses. He was very good at the craft of teaching with admirable language skills and simplicity of expression. He always strike a chord with his teaching in the hearts of his students. But his real contribution to the Department of Electrical Engineering is in the arena of administration. He was a very able administrator, well versed with rules and regulations. If one visits the department and its laboratories, you will find the contribution of Professor N. Subrahmanyam Garu. If you are seeing any equipment that's worth mentioning, there is an indelible mark of Professor N. Subrahmanyam Garu on that equipment, either direct or indirect. But for his tireless efforts, we could not have started the new MTech program in SEG. And of course, his contribution in getting the department accredited twice are undisputable. Everybody knows them. So there is no requirement for me to make a special mention. Yet I have to make it because that may not be known to the others who are outside the department. Unless he was there, we would not have had the privilege of getting the department accredited twice. And of course, as I told you, he was a great administrator. NIT Warangal, in its erstwhile avatar, that is REC Warangal, it started as a purely teaching institute and graduated to become a principally research institute. And Professor Subrahmanyam Garu is the architect of this paradigm change for the Department of Electrical Engineering. Finally, if his contribution is to be summarized in one word, I would say that he played a captain's knock. A true leader creates condition to make his players perform well. He did precisely that. I wish him a very happy and peaceful retired life. Being a beneficiary, I cannot adequately thank him, and I use this platform to thank him personally for whatever he has done to me and to the Department of Electrical Engineering. And Madam Padma Garu, she was the teacher of my son, and she is instrumental in the growth of intellect of all her students, and with a motherly touch. Thank you, madam, for being there. I'm sorry I was not visible to you. There seems to be some issue with the camera. I take leave of you at this point of time. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Sorry, someone else is speaking, I guess. Okay. Okay. No, I hear someone's voice. Of him sitting at the corner and looking at the screen. But I think it's nice this online chat came back. Initially, the audio was not bad, so I was thinking, how do I do and get back to him on the stage? We call him Daddy. Now, a lot of people must have said, why we call him Daddy, why we call him Boss. But just to recall an incident that I encountered with him, and the reason why I used to call him a daddy is those were the days when we used to get very meager monthly pocket money from parents, And I was a spendthrift in college. I used to blow up everything in the first 1 week. That itself was a record. So he was observing me for a couple of months, and then next time when the postman came to deliver the money order, after I signed it, he took the money. And he said, you pay your mess fees and stuff like that, the rest of the things you give it to me. He, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the youngest in the batch. Right, Daddy? Yeah, you can nod your head. Ram Kumar probably was younger than you. But being of the same vintage and same age group, he was tremendously mature in his ideas, thoughts, balanced in his approach, and ready to guide anyone in anything if someone seeks it. He's not the guy who pokes his nose and starts giving advice like a lot of us do on various occasions. But if you ask him, you're sure to find a solution. That's been a lovely journey. Subbu, Daddy, Boss, whatever you call it. So it's almost 50 years, like Papa Shastri said. 73 we joined, so come Jan 23, it will be 50 years our association. I wish you all the very best and a very happy, healthy, retired life. We'll meet soon and recall the old times, Daddy. Thanks a lot for providing me this opportunity.
We'll open it for the physical attendees as well, whoever wants to express their feelings. Yeah, just 1 minute. There is this one message from, just 1 second, from one of Professor Subrahmanyam's classmate. He says, our dear friend and classmate Subrahmanyam, fondly known as Boss Daddy by our batch, though he is younger to many of us, is superannuating today. He created a unique record of connecting with RECW campus for 49 years, that is from 1973 to 2022, missing the half century by a whisker. He, along with M. Saidulu, are the main links connecting our 1978 batch with RECW. Subrahmanyam is very meticulous in planning, maintaining the information, and very good in managing things. Without his involvement, we could not have organized our 25 years reunion in 2003 and 40 years reunion in 2018 successfully. He is well supported throughout his career by Padma and his son, and owe a lot to them for his success. Wish him a very happy, long and healthy superannuated life. Hope he continues to engage himself professionally and also support our batch 45 years reunion in 2023. So if anybody else wants to express their feelings. Yeah, please. Yes, yes, please, ma'am. It's open now.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, good evening to everyone. I am the elder sister of Mr. N. Subrahmanyam. I deem it a privilege to say a few words about my brother. He is the youngest in our family. We are 6 members in our family, 4 brothers and 2 sisters, and he is the youngest in the family. And I'm very happy to take this opportunity to speak few words about him. There is nothing that I can say about him as far as his career is concerned, because it has been exhaustively given. But I would like to say the personality of Mr. N. Subrahmanyam. I am very proud to say that he is very, very soft-spoken, meticulous in planning, and very good at heart, and very cooperative. And he is ready to extend his advice, extend his support when needed. Otherwise, he remains very calm, and he doesn't interfere in anybody's, or he doesn't poke into others' affairs. That is a very good quality of him, which I really love and like about my brother. And he is blessed with a son, and he is equally very supportive. And more than anything else, I would like to say on this stage, he is supported by a very well supported wife. She takes care of him so well. That is very nice of her. I wish both my brother, Mr. N. Subrahmanyam, and his wife, Padma, a very happy, peaceful, and healthy life. But I want him to continue a quality life. So I always feel that retirement is not the end of your career. It is the second phase of your life. You have to pursue your interest, continue your, I don't say research, but continue your field of education and career, and I wish you a good and bright future. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I take leave of you. Thank you very much.
Professor Raman Rao, all my friends, and today's guest, Professor Subrahmanyam. I knew Subrahmanyam probably from the time I joined, but then it was a strange accident that I knew about him. His brother used to run a bookshop here, close to the second gate. Yeah, so I just walked one day for some book, and he said, "Sir, my brother also teaches," and I did that. So that's why I came to know about him. But then in my house, Subrahmanyam is more known through his wife and son. So when I told my children today morning that I have a farewell function to Prof. Subrahmanyam, he said, he's a Murli's father. Padma teacher. I mean, they are so popular among the campus. Murali was such a wonderful guy, and she has been my my children's teacher. Amazing couple, and of course, Subrahmanyam, a lot of things have been said. Very systematic, very mild, unassuming, and a very silent worker. So I'm sure that he'll have a very peaceful, healthy, retired life. I wish you all the best. May God be always with you. Thank you.
Professor, guest of the day, Professor Subrahmanyam, Madam Padma, my colleagues, very good afternoon to you all. I had the fortune of association with Professor Subrahmanyam right from the day where I landed in the NITW WARANGAL in '92. I had 3 decades of association with Professor Subrahmanyam. As a lot of my predecessors has mentioned, Professor Subrahmanyam, association with Professor Subrahmanyam with almost all colleagues is very cordial, because he speaks less and then he is always in the forefront of giving advice wherever. He was considered as a troubleshooter. If there is any problem, right from we have heard from Professor Raman Rao, any head of the department, when he has some problem or something that is required to be addressed, we used to look forward Professor Subrahmanyam where he is. He was almost like a troubleshooter for anyone, maintaining the calm, and then he's very good analyzing the situation and then coming out with a very constructive suggestions for making any suggestions to the department and the colleagues. In fact, I noticed that every cell of his body positively vibrates when we say electrical engineering department and REC WARANGAL. So that is, he is always, when we say department, he gets an extra enthusiasm and energy to be part of the any activity that we think about it. In fact, as many of our colleagues have mentioned, every head of the department was very much immensely benefited by Professor Subrahmanyam's association, in not only in terms of the troubleshooting in the problems, but mostly in terms of the purchases. As many of the predecessors have spoken, many of the purchases that are associated with in the department worth crores of rupees over a very long period, irrespective of whoever is the head of the department. Professor Subrahmanyam used to be in the forefront for the purchases committee, and then if there is any troubleshooting of the files that are blocked for some reason, Professor Subrahmanyam used to be in the forefront for addressing that. So in fact, Madam Padma is also, like many of my predecessors mentioned, many of the children of my age, they were all students of Madam Padma in St. Gabriel's schools. In fact, we have a very close family. We have a very good family relations, not only in the personal, in the professional front, as well in the personal front. And Murali is such a nice boy. We were happy to see that Murali has grown up and then spoke very nicely on this occasion. In fact, we had wished Professor Subrahmanyam, Madam Padma, Murali, there is a very close-knit family, and then added to the new member into their family. I hope Professor Subrahmanyam and Padma take time to enjoy the life with the grandkids. Thank you. Wish him best.
Guest of the day, Professor Subrahmanyam Garu, Madam Padma Garu, beloved Director Professor Raman Rao Garu, colleagues and friends. Of course, everybody will retire one day or other. So as a part of our game. But of course, so many faculty are retiring after attaining the superannuation, so definitely institute is losing that way the expertise of the senior faculty members. So definitely it is a great loss to the Department of Electrical Engineering. So I think 1 year back Professor Saidulu retired, and now the Professor Subrahmanyam, and next month Professor Vinod Kumar is also retiring. But of course, so we have to adjust with that, and we have to cope up with the young faculty and other things. Professor Subrahmanyam, as mentioned by our previous speakers, is very meticulous in every aspect. And I know him since then. I joined in this institute from 1987 onwards. His son Murali and my second daughter Swati, they are classmates from LKG to 10th class in Gabriel School. And Madam, of course, Padma is also teacher to my both the daughters. And she used to help a lot to our daughters. And Subrahmanyam Garu, actually, when I was a chief warden during 2009 and 10, there are several student issues and always there are inquiries. And I used to take him as a member in the inquiry committees so that he will do very meticulously and giving a report. So that's how he helped me as a chief warden when I was a chief warden for several aspects. And another very important thing is, so our NIT or the REC, when our faculty members purchased the land at near Madikonda, and very long back, of course, during 1990 or so, but no developments, and except Professor Ravikumar constructed a house there. And he has taken initiation, and we have to do something at this area, and then all we are together, and then we made some boundaries and certain aspects, but he is instrumental in that. He made drawings and other things. I really wondered, sir, you are electrical engineering only, not civil engineer, how you are making all these drawings? So he used to make several things and spending a number of hours talking to the people, convincing the people. And then because of his interaction with the members, and several members have paid the money, and then we did something at that particular land. And definitely that credit goes to Professor Subrahmanyam Garu. And he really is a very good teacher and a very good administrator also. He proved several times as HOD and also as a dean, alumni affairs the last 1 year. So several programs are taking place at our institute. And he is also very liberal for donations. Whenever we approach, he used to give the money because so we work outside for the science population activities. So we used to take his help for doing some activity at different schools in government, and he is ready to always help. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for all your support. I take this opportunity to wish a very happy and fruitful retired life for Professor Subrahmanyam Garu and Madam Padma Garu. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Sabhaku Namaskaram, respected dignitaries, respected director and registrar. Today's guests of couple, Professor Subrahmanyam and Padmavati Garu. Namaskaram. My interaction is since 1982. I joined in 1982 as a teaching assistant. At that time, we were neighbors. Subrahmanyam was staying in D12, quarters D12 by 1, and myself in D13 by 1, and other people. So we are neighbors, Subrahmanyam. The activities are many, actually, if I say. There are many activities with Subrahmanyam. Not only in the beginning, when I joined, it was a combined department. It was electrical engineering department when I joined the particular ECE section in those days. So as a colleague, we enjoyed. And then in those days, we used to enjoy in staff club, activities in staff club. So it's a social activity. Social activity is active socially. So this is another interaction with him. As far as the other duties are concerned, when we were research committee members, doctoral scrutiny committee members, for our department scholars, some scholars is the member, for the department scholars I am the member. So we used to interact, we used to see the research activity of the students, their department people, myself and my department people, Professor Subrahmanyam. We were in some committees who were together in the research activities. And Padmavati Garu is a teacher for my second son, Mr. Sridhar. Always she inquires about my second son. Where is he, what is he doing, and all that. Thank you, madam, for your interaction and inquiries to my son. So these are few I am mentioning. There may be some more activities, okay, which I am unable to say right now. So thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So I wish you a happy, peaceful, retired life. Thank you all.
Good evening, everyone. And today's guests, Professor Subrahmanyam Garu, Sri Padmavati Garu, and then other dignitaries. So I know Professor Subrahmanyam Garu from 1992 onwards. So we used to see Professor Subrahmanyam as a systematic man. You can also see now also, you'll be carrying always with him a pouch, having cell phones, keys, and then other things. Wherever he goes, that is what we see. A trademark. Otherwise, sometimes we'll see that we'll be forgetting the keys here and then cell phone here. But he is always a systematic man. Another important thing we have seen here is most of the times we have seen the plan grants are released. Of course, director and registrar are here. So they will be released late in the year, financial year, somewhere in the month of January, February. All the credit goes to Professor Subrahmanyam Garu for successfully spending the amount sanctioned to the electrical engineering department. Let us give a big round of applause to Professor Subrahmanyam Garu. So Professor Sailaja Madam will agree with me that they were able to utilize not only the money or funds allotted to electrical department, the unspent money in the other departments also. So in the other departments, when we were struggling like what to purchase, how to purchase and other things, Professor Subrahmanyam, even though he was a senior most professor, I have seen him in the last 2 years also, 2 years back also. He was regularly carrying the files with him and then sitting with in the stores, the DR, and then he will see to it that everything is purchased as per the requirement. So because of him only, very good labs and then facilities were established in the electrical engineering department. Professor Subrahmanyam Garu taught a number of courses to our mechanical engineering students also. He is very friendly with the students. Always students will be remembering him. And in between, he has also did his MTech in the computer science and then that migration program also. A latest addition to him, where I worked closely with Professor Subrahmanyam, is the installation of the institute solar power plant. So he is very systematic. Each and every calculation he will be doing, and then each and every paper he will be properly maintaining files and then coordinating with the PE office. When we deal with such a big, you can say relatively large amount, like almost 99 kilowatts capacity system. So it is all the credit goes to Professor Subrahmanyam Garu in seeing to it that the system has been successfully installed and then it is working very successfully for the last few years. So Professor Subrahmanyam Garu is also successful on the family side. Madam used to work as a teacher. She was also a teacher to our children and then many of our colleagues' children also in the Gabriel school. So Madam was also very systematic in the school. And then he is also successful as a family man. We know his son Murali. We were all staying in the quarters, and then his son Murali is, is very, you can say, lovable child in the campus. So I take this opportunity in praying God to bestow the best to Professor Subrahmanyam Garu and his family. Thank you, sir.
సభకు నమస్కారం. రెస్పెక్టెడ్ డైరెక్టర్ గారు, రిజిస్ట్రార్ గారు, డీన్స్, అడ్వైజర్స్, స్టూడెంట్స్ అండ్ ఫ్యాకల్టీ మెంబర్స్ అండ్ మై డియర్ కొలీగ్స్. ఈరోజు ముఖ్య అతిథులు సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం గారు, టీచర్ పద్మ గారు. టీచర్ పద్మ గారు మా ఇద్దరు అబ్బాయిలకి టీచరు గేబ్రియల్ స్కూల్లో. నేను 1992 సంవత్సరం నుంచి సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం గారి గురించి తెలుసు, బాగా దగ్గర సన్నిహితం. దానికి ముఖ్య కారకులు ఏంటంటే, నేను దయానిధి మధుసూదన్ రెడ్డి గారు ఒక ఇంట్లో ఉండేవాళ్ళం పైన. దాని ఎదురుగుండా సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం గారి బావగారు, అక్కగారు ఉండేవారు, ఆదిలక్ష్మి ఆంటీ, ప్రసాద్ గారు. ఇంకా మమ్మల్ని ఒక కన్న బిడ్డల కంటే ఎక్కువగా చూసుకున్నారు. భోజనం పెట్టేవాళ్ళు, ఎలాగ నడవాలా, ఎలా చేయాలని చూపేవాళ్ళు. దాని తర్వాత సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం గారు బాగా దగ్గర అయ్యారు. అందరు చెప్పినట్టుగా సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం గారు చాలా మెటిక్యులస్గా చేస్తూ ఉంటారు ఏ పనైనా. నన్ను మాత్రం రవి అని పిలిచి, బాబు అది కాదు అని చెప్తుంటారు. సో ఆయనకి నేను రవిబాబుని. మొన్న కూడా రాత్రి ఫోన్ చేసి, ముందు ఇది విను నువ్వు, తర్వాత ఈ విధంగా చేస్తే బాగుంటుంది అని అనుకుంటున్నానని చెప్తారు. నేను అదే లక్ష్మారెడ్డి గారు చెప్పినట్టుగా అక్కడ ఒక ప్లాట్ తీసుకోవడం జరిగింది 92లో. దాని తర్వాత దానికి ఇల్లు కట్టాలంటే మొదటి వ్యక్తిగా కడుతున్నప్పుడు దానికి లింక్ డాక్యుమెంట్స్ ఏమి లేకుండా ఉండే నా దగ్గర. అప్పుడు సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం గారి దగ్గర వెళ్ళి అడిగితే అన్నీ కూడా తీసి, ఒక రోజు టైం ఇవ్వు, అన్నీ తీసిస్తాను అని చెప్పి చాలా చక్కగా అన్నీ ఆ లింక్ బోర్డ్ డాక్యుమెంట్స్ ఇవ్వడం బట్టి నాకు ఆ లోన్ రావడం, తర్వాత లాయర్ దగ్గర త్రూ అవ్వడం, తర్వాత ఆ యొక్క సబ్ రిజిస్ట్రార్ దగ్గర కూడా త్రూ అయ్యి ఇల్లు కట్టగలిగాను. అదేవిధంగా ఈ చీఫ్ వార్డన్షిప్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఇంకా ఒకటే నా వెంట పడడం, ఆ సోలార్ హీటర్స్ అనడం. దాని తర్వాత రీసెంట్గా తన ప్రమేయంతో లేడీస్ హాస్టల్లో ఒక 15 గీజర్స్ కూడా ఇప్పించడం జరిగింది. ఈ విధంగా ఎప్పుడు చూడు హెల్ప్ఫుల్గా, జన విజ్ఞాన వేదిక కూడా హెల్ప్ఫుల్గా డొనేట్ చేస్తూ ఎన్నో కార్యక్రమాలు చేస్తున్నారు. వారికి, మా అబ్బాయిల టీచర్ అయిన పద్మ మేడంకి మంచి చేసినప్పుడు ఎప్పుడైనా దేవుడు తప్పకుండా వాళ్ళ ఆశీర్వాదాలు ఉంటాయి. మురళి కూడా మా పిల్లల యొక్క క్లోజ్ ఫ్రెండ్. వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా పాట్లక్ చేయడం, అవన్నీ కూడా చాలా మెమరబుల్ క్యాంపస్ లైఫ్ మేమందరం ఒకటిగా పొందాం. కాబట్టి ఆ దేవుడిని చిన్నోడినైనా పెద్ద మనసుతో ప్రార్థన చేస్తా, ఈ కప్పులు ఎప్పటికి కూడా మంచి ఆయురారోగ్యాలతోటి వాళ్ళ శేష జీవితం గడపాలని కోరుకుంటూ అవకాశం ఇచ్చిన పెద్దలకు ధన్యవాదాలు తెలుపుకుంటూ ముగిస్తున్నాను.
Honorable Director Professor N.V. Raman Rao Garu, respected Deans, Registrar, senior colleagues and my dear colleague friends, ladies and gentlemen, very good evening. At the outset, I congratulate Professor N. Subrahmanyam Garu for getting relieved from the hectic schedules of teaching and other administrative works. I joined in this institute in 1999. My association with Professor Subrahmanyam Garu has been for the last more than 2 decades. As told by the previous speakers, Professor Subrahmanyam Garu is meticulous in designing, planning and executing the things. When I took over as the Joint Secretary of Global NITW in 2021, he called me and he handed over all the documents, files related to NITW. He is very good at maintaining the files and documentation. When I saw those documents and when I went through all the documents, all documents were well written, well documented. The bylaws, rules, whatever are required for operating the NITW, they were in place, and I was surprised on seeing all those documents. All the files related to NITW are there in NITW office. And from his style of working, sometimes I recall the Amukta Malyada, written, composed by Sri Krishna Devaraya. Amukta Malyada, as I understand, is a trialed garland. In Amukta Malyada, Goda Devi, before garlanding the Ranganatha Swami, she prepares a garland and she checks whether the garland is properly prepared or not. She goes in front of the mirror, wears, checks. If she is satisfied, then only she hands over that garland to her father to garland Lord Ranganatha. That means even if the garland is not good, the Ranganatha god does not curse her, but the trialing of garland before actually garlanding to the Ranganatha Swami idol indicates her commitment, her dedication, her devotion to the work. The same devotion, so the same dedication I witnessed during my 23 years of service at NIT Warangal in the working style of Professor N. Subrahmanyam garu. Once again, my best wishes to you, sir. On a comical note, a retiring person, when he is in service, is a half-time person with full-time salary. But when he retires, he will become a full-time man for the family, but with half salary. I wish you a very, very happy, healthy, and peaceful retired life, sir. My wife was also colleague to Madam Padma. My worked for a short period in St. Gabriel School. After conceiving for my son, she stopped working. I wish both of you happy and healthy post-retired life. Thank you all very much.
Sabhaya Namah. Respected director and other colleagues, and today's chief guest, Professor Subrahmanyam garu and Padma garu. I know him even before joining here. As a research scholar, I know him in the Department of Electrical Engineering. And after joining here, we were colleagues. In 1993, I joined, and myself and Kasi Viswanathan and Professor Vayan Reddy, we have joined all together. From that day onwards, we know him. Every documentation is prepared by Professor Subrahmanyam garu in NITW. That I know. Every time I was seeing him preparing a document. And he talks less, but talks with meticulous care. And he talks with a benefit to do everybody. That is his quality. And my wife is a friend of Padma garu, and she inquires about our children always. I wish him healthy and happy retired life. Thank you, sir.
After this presentation, the alumni chapter will felicitate sir.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, my association with Professor Subrahmanyam garu is, sir used to give very valuable advices. He had been the DSC member of many doctor scrutiny committees of many scholars, and unlike many other nowadays DSC members, some are active, some are passive, but then sir used to be very, very active, and then he used to give very valuable suggestions to the scholars, and by the virtue of those suggestions, it's not an exaggeration that the students have corrected, including their titles, and then sir has given a lot of direction indeed, and this is my observation. And in addition, sir has given personally for me very valuable suggestions before the interviews also. He has been very kind enough to just interact on multiple occasions. So thank you very much, sir. And then we pray the Almighty that in his retired life he spends a completely peaceful and then a healthy life. Thank you.
Sabuk Namaskaram. Today's chief guest, Professor Subrahmanyam, Dean IRAA, on his day of superannuation, respected Director Professor Navanarao sir and all the dignitaries of the dais. So on behalf of Warangal chapter, NITW Alumni Association, I bring to the kind notice of all the participants here. Professor Subrahmanyam is a retired professor of electrical engineering. Apart from this, he is a great student of NIT Warangal, being taken 4 degrees in NIT Warangal. So he is a notable alumni and respected alumni, and moreover, he is retiring most respected position as a Dean IRAA. So with this great accomplishment, today is a great day for our Professor Subrahmanyam sir. On behalf of our all NIT Warangal Alumni Association, we on behalf of all present here and across from the chapters across the globe, all are conveying our best wishes for your post-retirement life, sir. Wish you happy retirement life. Thank you. Thank you, Ananda.
Hello. Respected Director, NV Raman sir, Deans, HODs, and the Faculty of Electrical Engineering Department. First of all, I would like to thank for giving this opportunity for speaking 2 minutes time. Myself, Sunil Kumar, completed my PhD under the supervision of Professor DVSS Shiva Sharma sir, and Professor Subrahmanyam sir is my doctoral scrutiny committee member. And I want to share my experiences during my PhD. On June 2nd, 2010, I got married. So at that time, Professor Subrahmanyam sir and Madam Padma Madam came to my marriage. Due to busy schedule, Professor DVS sir couldn't able to attend that marriage. Really, thank you, ma'am. And from that time, every time sir is used to give a lot of support during my PhD. Whenever we have presentations, sir is used to give a lot of suggestions. So due to my personal reasons, I couldn't able to done the work within the time. But with the support and able guidance of Professor Subrahmanyam sir, I could able to complete my PhD. With the support, with the moral support of Professor Saidulu Maheshwar sir, and all the Faculty of Electrical Engineering Department, I could able to complete my PhD. Right now, I am working as assistant professor in Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering at KITS Warangal. So, I can say that Professor Subrahmanyam sir is meticulous and straightforward. Whatever sir want to give any suggestions, he will give directly. So, with that, everybody, not only me, all the scholars have benefited, sir. So in this auspicious occasion, I would like to pray Almighty to give a peaceful life to the rest of the life, sir. So and once again, I'm thankful to you for this giving opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
I am Hari Devarapalli, and Sir is one of my DSC member. I just wanted to say Subhakankshulu. బాస్గా డాడీగా సహాధ్యాయులలో ప్రసిద్ధులు, మితభాషి, కార్యసాధకులు, ఇవన్నీ నేను ఇప్పుడు కూర్చొని కలెక్ట్ చేసుకున్నటువంటి క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్స్. సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం గారికి, వారి అర్ధాంగి పద్మావతి గారికి ఉద్యోగ విరమణ సందర్భంగా హృదయపూర్వక శుభాకాంక్షలు. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్.
సభాయ నమః. చాలామంది సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం గారిని, వారి సతీమణిని ప్రొఫెషనల్గా చాలా చెప్పారు వారి గురించి. నేను ఒకే ఒక పాయింట్ చెప్పేసి ఆగిపోతాను. యాజ్ ఎ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద పాట్లక్ గ్యాంగ్, both of them are unique. Both of them are very, very unique. There are many members who are there from the potluck. I request every one of them to come on to the dais to take a pic. Please, Adilakshmi garu, Savitri garu, అందరం ఫోటో తీసుకుందాం. ఉషా గారు, సైదులు సార్, అందరం ఫోటో తీసుకుందాం సార్ పాటలకు. రండి పైకి, ఇక్కడికే సార్. అబ్బే ఫోటోకి అడుగుతున్నా. కాదు సార్, ఇట్స్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ ద ఫోటోగ్రాఫ్ సార్. కృష్ణానంద్ సార్, did I miss anyone? This is a very, very informal group where we used to meet and have fun, and none of the items which were prepared by any one of them were spared. So usually we had fun for 2 to 3 hours and then used to disperse. And it was a lively experience because everyone used to experiment something or the other on the entire the community of the Potluck gang. I request all of them to be here so that we can take a pic on the occasion of the superannuation of Subrahmanyam garu. Thank you all. After the photograph, I think I will not come back once again to the mic. Thank you.
సభకు నమస్కారం. సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం గారిని కలవక ముందు వాళ్ళ అబ్బాయి నన్ను కలిశాడు. మేము D15/2లో ఉన్నప్పుడు మురళి నా రాజదూత్ మోటార్ సైకిల్ గురించి చాలా ప్రశ్నలు వేస్తూ ఉండేవాడు. అంకుల్ ఇది ఎట్ట పని చేస్తుందని. తర్వాత మురళి తర్వాత అందరూ ఒక్కొక్కళ్ళు పరిచయం అయ్యారు మాకు. అయితే మురళి మా వివేక్కి గురువు. ఎందుకంటే నాగేశ్వరరావు ట్యూషన్ పంతుల్లో అక్కడ ఏంటి నాగేశ్వరరావు పంతులు ఎట్లా చెప్తున్నాడు ఏంటి అవన్నీ డైరెక్షను పాపం మురళియే ఇచ్చాడు. ఇంకా ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు పద్మ గారు చెప్పినట్టు మేమందరం పాట్లక్ గ్రూపు మాది. వెంకట్రావు గారు, డాక్టర్ వెంకట్రావు గారు, మారుతి ఆంటీ, మరి అప్పుడప్పుడు వెంకట్ కూడా కలిసేవాడు మరి. సో మాదంతా ఒక పెద్ద ఫ్యామిలీ పాట్లక్ మెంబర్స్ మేము. సో ఆదిలక్ష్మి ఆంటీ is the main host in all these things. So we had a ivala Hari Krishna is missing. I don't know. Uchaleda. Hari Krishna and all those people they were part of our potluck group. So anyway, I need not tell how to enjoy life for Subrahmanyam Garu, because he has his own way of enjoying life, and I wish him to continue with the same enjoyment of taking life as it comes. Good luck, sir.
Sorry to disturb you. As you can see from the group photograph, ours is a true family and a strong family. Thank you.
I thank you all for your gracious presence. It was indeed too humble to listen to so many. Sir, please.
సభకు నమస్కారం. ఆన్లైన్లో ఉన్నటువంటి గౌరవనీయులు ప్రొఫెసర్ పివి రమణరావు గారు, మా డైరెక్టర్ గారు ప్రియతమ ఎన్వి రమణరావు గారు, మా గురువు గారు ప్రొఫెసర్ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం గారు అండ్ ఫ్రెండ్స్, గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ టు ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ. నా స్నేహితులు, సహోద్యోగులు చాలామంది చాలా విషయాలు సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం గారిని గురించి మాట్లాడటం జరిగింది. వాటన్నిటితో ఏకీభవిస్తూ నేను అక్కడ ఒక మూల కూర్చొని ఆలోచిస్తూ ఉంటే, వాళ్ళు సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం గారు ఏంటి క్లుప్తంగా అనుకుంటే, ఒక మంచి మనిషి, ఒక మంచి వ్యక్తిత్వం కలగ మనీషి అని అనిపించింది నాకు. ఐఎమ్ ట్రైంగ్ టు రికలెక్ట్ 1981లో నేను విద్యార్థిగా ఈ ప్రాంగణంలోకి అడుగుపెట్టినప్పటి నుంచి, అప్పుడు మాకు మొదటి సంవత్సరంలో ఆయన బేసిక్ ఎలక్ట్రికల్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ సబ్జెక్టు చెప్పినప్పుడు రోజులు గుర్తు చేసుకుంటూ, ఆ తర్వాత నా అదృష్టం కొద్దీ ఈ కాలేజీలో ఉద్యోగం సంపాదించటం, ఆయనకి సహోద్యోగిగా ఉండటం, ఆయన మార్గదర్శకత్వంలో నా యొక్క కెరీర్ని మలుచుకుంటూ చాలా అనుభవాలు ఉన్నాయి. వీటన్నిటినీ రంగరించి క్రోడీకరిస్తే నాకు అనిపిస్తుంది ఏంటంటే, ఆయన ఒక మంచి మహోన్నతమైనటువంటి వ్యక్తిత్వం కలటువంటి మనిషి. ఎప్పుడూ ఆయన పదవులు అయితే ఆశించలేదు. నాకు తెలిసినంతవరకు నాకు ఈ పోస్ట్ కావాలి, పలానా పోస్టులో నేను కూర్చోవాలి, ఏ వ్యక్తిని, ఏ డైరెక్టర్ని లేకపోతే ఏ ప్రిన్సిపాల్ని అడగటం కానీ మనసులో కూడా ఆశించి ఉండడం నా ఉద్దేశం. నేనైతే ప్రకారంగా నమ్ముతున్నాను. భగవద్గీతలో కృష్ణుడు చెప్పినట్టుగా, నీ కర్మ నువ్వు చెయ్యి, ఫలితాన్ని ఆశించొద్దు అన్నాడు. అది మనసా వాచా కర్మణ ఆయన పాటించారని నేను నమ్ముతున్నాను. ఎప్పుడు ఫలితాన్ని ఆశించలేదు. తను ఈ పని చేస్తే నాకేంటి అని కానీ, ఈ పని చేయడం వల్ల నాకేమైనా గుర్తింపు వస్తుందా అని కానీ ఎప్పుడూ ఆలోచించలేదు. ఆయనకన్నా 25 సంవత్సరాల చిన్న వ్యక్తులతో కూడా కలిసిపోయి, ఆ వ్యక్తి యొక్క బాధ్యత అయినా కానీ ఈయన కూడా అది తన బాధ్యత అన్నట్టుగా అనుకొని తనకి వీలైనంత సహాయం చేసేవాడు ఆయన. ఆ కార్యక్రమంలో కూడా, ఆ వరుసలో కూడా ఎప్పుడు నేను ఇది చేశానని ఆయన చెప్పుకోవడం నేను ఎక్కడా చూడలేదు. ఎందుకంటే నేను డీన్ ఆలమ్ని అఫైర్స్గా ఉన్నప్పుడు అంతకుముందు కూడా చాలాసార్లు ఆలమ్ని అసోసియేషన్ యాక్టివిటీస్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు నాకు చాలా వరకు ఇన్స్పిరేషన్ కానీ గైడెన్స్ కానీ మార్గదర్శకత్వం కానీ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం గారే. గంటల కొద్దీ నేను ఇంకా వేరే ఫ్యాకల్టీ మెంబర్తో అవుతాను ఈయనతో గడిపినంత టైం ఎప్పుడు స్పెండ్ చేయలేదు, ఎక్కువగా ఆలమ్నే గురించి. ఈ కాలేజీలో చాలాసార్లు అనుకునేవాడిని, సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం గారు, సైదులు గారు జంట కవుల్లోగా 1978 నుంచి ఆలమ్నేకి అనుకునేవాళ్ళం. అయినా కానీ సైదులు గారితో నాకు పరిచయం ఉంది, ఆయనతో మాట్లాడేవాడిని. కానీ ఎక్కువ కాలం ఆలమ్నేని గురించి వివిధ రకాలైనటువంటి ఆలోచనలు చేసి ప్రయత్నాలు చేసి ఎలా చేస్తే బాగుంటుంది అని అనుకోవటం కానీ సభాముఖంగా నేను గట్టిగా నిజాయితీగా చెప్పగలను, సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం గారికి ఆలమ్ని వాళ్ళతో ఉన్నంత అనుబంధం మాలో ఏ ఒక్కరికి లేదు. నేను చేసిన ఆలమ్ని డీన్గా చేసిన సందర్భాల్లో చాలాసార్లు చాలా ప్రయత్నాలు చేశాం, కొన్ని విజయవంతమైనటువంటి ఆలోచనలు చేసాం. వాటన్నిటికీ ఆయన ఉన్నాడు. కానీ ఎప్పుడు ఆయన ముందుకొచ్చి నేను ఇది చేశానని కానీ నేను ఎప్పుడు చెప్పుకోవడం చూడలేదు. అండ్ ఆల్సో ఈజ్ కల్మషం లేని వ్యక్తి. చాలామంది మనకి చదువుల వలన తెలివితేటలు వచ్చినాయి అనుకుంటున్నారు. ఏమో నాకు తెలీదు, మనం నిజంగా చదువుకున్నాం లేదో అని ఆ విషయాల్లోకి వెళ్ళట్లేలే. కానీ నర్మగర్భంగా ద్వంద్వార్థాలు వచ్చేటట్టుగా వ్యంగ్యంగా మాట్లాడటం ఆయన ఎప్పుడు నేను చూడలేదు. అంటే మన ఇంగ్లీష్లో ఇన్ బిట్వీన్ ద లైన్స్ చదువుతారు అని అంటారు. ఇన్ బిట్వీన్ ద లైన్స్ చదవడానికి ఆయన దగ్గర ఏముండదు, ఉండేదేదో డైరెక్ట్గానే మాట్లాడుతూ ఉంటాడు. అట్లా కాలేజీ కోసం చాలాసార్లు తప్పించారు చాలా విషయాల్లో. ఆయనకు తోచినట్టుగా ఆయన డైరెక్టర్ గారు కానీ హెడ్స్ ఆఫ్ ది డిపార్ట్మెంట్ కానీ అడిగినా అడగకపోయినా ఆయన చేయగలడు అనుకుంటే ఆయన చేసి, లేకపోతే పలానా వ్యక్తి ఇన్ఛార్జిగా ఉన్నాడు అనుకున్నప్పుడు ఆయన దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి చేయటం అంటూ జరిగింది. ఇంకో గొప్ప గుణం ఏంటంటే ఈ కాలేజీ నుంచి 4 డిగ్రీలు తీసుకుంది ఆయన ఒక్కడే, ఇంకెవరు లేరు, ఇంక ఉండబోరని కూడా నేను ప్రగాఢంగా నమ్ముతున్నాను. ఇవన్నీ ఆలోచిస్తుంటే ఇందాక మేడం అన్నారు సంపూర్ణమైన కుటుంబమా గొప్ప కుటుంబం అని. ఆయనకి ఇలాంటి నడవడిక, పరుష పదాలు వాడకుండా సహోద్యోగుల్ని అందరినీ ఆప్యాయంగా పలకరిస్తూ అందరినీ ఒక తన కుటుంబ సభ్యులుగా భావిస్తూ ఎప్పుడూ కాలక్షేమాన్ని ఆశిస్తూ గత 40 సంవత్సరాలుగా దాదాపు 50 సంవత్సరాలు స్టూడెంట్ డేస్ని కూడా కలుపుకుంటే, ఇది నేను అనుకోవటం తన కుటుంబం తన తల్లిదండ్రులు ఇచ్చినటువంటి ఒక సంస్కారం అనుకుంటున్నాను. అదే సంస్కారము వాళ్ళ అబ్బాయిలో కూడా చూశాను, మురళిలో కూడా. సో ఈజ్ ఏ గ్రేట్ ఫాదర్, ఒక మంచి సిటిజన్ని, యూనివర్సల్ సిటిజన్ అన్నాలేము ఇప్పుడు. ఎందుకంటే వాడు ఇండియాలో పుట్టాడు, ఇక్కడే పెరిగాడు, అమెరికాలో సర్వీస్ చేస్తున్నాడు. కాబట్టి ఏ గుడ్ యూనివర్సల్ సిటిజన్ హెస్ బీన్ కంట్రిబ్యూటెడ్ బై ప్రొఫెసర్ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం అండ్ పద్మావతి గారు. వీటన్నిటి వెనక ఆయన పని ఇలా చేసుకుంటూ పోతున్నప్పుడు పద్మావతి గారి కంట్రిబ్యూషన్ కూడా చాలా ఉండే ఉంటుంది. ఆమె సహాయంతో సహకారంతో ఈ 5 దశాబ్దాలు ఈ కాలేజీకి ఎంతో సేవ చేశారు. నాకు ఎందుకనో రిటైర్మెంట్ అనే పదం వాడటం ఇష్టం లేదు. ఈ తదుపరి జనవరి 23వ తారీఖు నుంచి మిగతా జీవితాన్ని ఇంకా గొప్పగా ఆస్వాదిస్తూ ఆయురారోగ్యాలతో కలకాలం ఉండాలని భగవంతుని ప్రార్థిస్తూ సెలవు తీసుకుంటున్నాను.
Thank you all for your gracious presence. It was really nice listening to different incidents involving Professor Subrahmanyam over the last 50 years. And probably he would also be time traveling with every incident, remembering it as to how it happened. So now I call upon Professor Subrahmanyam to express his thoughts.
Sabhaya Namaha. I have a lot to say, but for the sake of clarity and in order that I do not miss, I'll prefer to read from a prepared speech. First of all, I'd like to thank the Department of Electrical Engineering and the Institute for arranging a very nice function to bid farewell to me. I also take this opportunity to thank the management of Hitachi Energy for having thought befitting to honor me with a series of state-of-the-art technical lectures in the areas of smart electric grid. I also wish to thank all the speakers, my friends, family, and other students who have delivered lectures in the seminar on green and sustainable energy today morning. Several colleagues and my gurus have also spoken very nice words about me, and I am truly humbled and honored and thank them for their gesture. What all I could do in this institute, in fact, I would state that I owe everything to this mother institute, RECW, NIT Warangal. All of you have been patient till now, and I request you to have a little more patience to permit me to read from a prepared speech, as I wish not to miss some points which I consider were important in my life and which could be of some help to someone here. As an individual, I consider 3 A's are important: attitude, aptitude, and application. To be successful as a professional, one needs to discuss, deliberate, debate, but finally decide, because arguments will never lead anywhere. It will never lead to a conclusive decision. The people to whom I owe values I could practice in my life in the order of their entry or association in my life are as follows: my father, N. Subbarao, my second sister, Mrs. Savitri, who spoke here, my math teacher in intermediate, Professor P. Somaraju, my teacher, guide, and philosopher at RECW and NITW, Professor P.V. Ramanrao. And of course, last but not the least, my wife Padmavati, who has been all along supportive in all the endeavors that I had been able to do. If I was even 10% successful, as many of the speakers have mentioned, I think it completely, I owe it to my wife, because she took up the burden of rearing my son and shaping him into a thorough individual as he is seen today. And again, my son, even though he is young in age, he is a very mature citizen, and I look forward to him for guidance and counsel at times of my need. The number of days that I have spent at RECW, NITW is since 24th December 1973. It is 17,904 days. Number of days as a faculty member at RECW, NITW since 6th December 1980, it is 15,365 days. Total number of years spent at RECW, 49 years. Number of teaching years at RECW, 42 years, 0 months, 25 days. Number of degrees from RECW, already a lot of people have mentioned: 4, BTech in Electrical Engineering, MTech in Power Systems, MTech in Computer Science, and PhD in Electrical Engineering. A brief about myself. I had my schooling in Vijayawada and Hyderabad, and finally in Nagarjuna Sagar. Due to the non-availability of a recognized school for SSC education, I studied Andhra Metric privately and joined intermediate in Mrs. Avian College, Visakhapatnam. Due to the inadequate guidance during Andhra Metric period, I was very weak in mathematics, and it was Professor Somaraju, who was a teacher then and who is currently the architect of the Gayatri Vidya Parishad in Vizag, who was then teaching at Mrs. Avian College, who helped and honed my mathematics skills and helped me to fetch a good percentage of marks in intermediate and ensure that I get a seat in this prestigious institute, RECW. During this crucial phase of my education from 71 to 73, I was confronted with the Andhra agitation, and I was a bit demotivated during the final exams of my intermediate, and it was the comfort, compassion and guidance that my sister Savitri extended to me that I could overcome the poor performance in metric and score a good percentage in intermediate exams. It was on 24 December 1973 that I landed my foot on this great temple of learning, then RECW, now NITW. During these 49 years of my association with this institute, I had fortune of receiving the best education from excellent teachers and guidance from several of my teachers as colleagues and several others as colleagues in the department. I also received encouragement and support from several heads of institutions. I will be failing in my duty if I fail to mention a few individuals like Professor V. Venkateswara Rao of Physics, Professor Koteswara Rao, our principal for 16 long years, Professor S. Ramaswamy Reddy of Civil Engineering, who was my mentor during my college days, Professor K. Venkateswarlu, and above all, Professor P.V. Raman Rao in our department. My teaching career at NITW can be split into two parts, from 1981 to 1993 and from 1993 till my retirement till date. The first phase of my teaching during 81 to 93 was largely instrumental due to the motivation I received from several of my students and few of our senior colleagues in our department. In this context, I would like to mention the name of two students, Mr. Rajsekhar Sharma of Electrical Engineering and Mr. Kannan Bhaskar of Mechanical Engineering, who greatly motivated and inspired me to raise my bar and attempt to do better with each passing day and year. Apart from these students, the support, guidance, and tips related to the teaching learning process that I received from Professor P.V. Raman Rao, Professor K. Venkateswarlu, Professor P.I.D. Jyoti Rao, and Professor M. Ramurthy need special mention. The second phase of my teaching during 1993 till now was impacted by my entry into the cross-migration program in computer science, which led to an MTech degree in computer science in 1998, and one of the persons who motivated me to migrate to a computer-related field was Professor K.V. Lu. I was one of the only 2 out of 30 faculty who joined this program to have completed the course. The foray into computer science was with a hope to enter the faculty of Department of Computer Science, but destiny decided otherwise, and I returned back to my parent department to pursue my PhD degree, which I completed in 1998. At this juncture, I need to pay my respects and gratitude to Professor P.V. Raman Rao, who was not only my guide for PhD work, but the principal motivator who calmed my otherwise troubled mind of my failed chance to enter into the domain of computer science. After I completed my PhD, I became eligible for my promotion in the department, and I quickly and surely climbed up the ladder of my career from lecturer to assistant professor and then to professor in 2012. In this context, I would like to advise and appeal, of course, not many junior faculty are here, but I feel I firmly believe that the integral sum of salary, position, children's success and growth in any individual's career shall not vary significantly from one person to another. What I mean is, one may get a promotion early, another may get benefits during a pay revision, while yet another may have his children educated in a prestigious institution at little or no cost. So one has to properly measure success or growth in terms of happiness and contentment index and not be too bothered about career growth. In no terms I mean to undermine the fact that one has to consciously work towards achieving excellence and improvement, but I only mean to state that success shall definitely follow you if one is sincere, diligent, and persevering in one's own efforts. My professional career at RECW and NIT WARANGAL has been quite satisfying and fulfilling, but nevertheless, I have an inner feeling that I could have done still better. What little I could deliver was because of the cooperation from my wife and family and goodwill of all stakeholders of the institute, the students, the faculty, the administration, and finally the alumni. I am happy that I could serve my alma mater and wish and pray that this institute grows in stature in years to come. During my career at RECW, when I think of sincerity and dedication, I am reminded of one Mr. Ankush, who worked as a sweeper, and for professional excellence and competence, I was inspired by three great teachers of mine, Professor V. Venkateswara of Physics, Professor Ramurthy of Electrical Engineering, and Professor K.V. Reddy of ECE. When I reflect and consider who impacted my personality to be humane and modest in my relationship with my peers and colleagues, I owe it to the upbringing of my parents and mentoring and guidance I received from my family as well as from my guide and mentor, Professor P.V. Raman Rao. It is not only these people but others with whom I had interacted that have enriched my personality, but the mention of only a few individuals was done to highlight that their influence on shaping my personality was immense. Some of the activities I completed in my professional career which provided me utmost satisfaction are development of a computer lab, coordinator of TechWhip, and recently the coordination and completion of the Hitachi Energy Smart Electric Grid project. At this juncture, I'd be failing in my complete duty if I do not thank my wife Padma for the cooperation she extended and took up the burden of shaping my child's education and career from my head and enabled me to carry out my duties and progress in my career, in particular during my MTech cross-migration as well as PhD work. Finally, I wish to thank each and every member of NIT family, in particular every member of Department of Electrical Engineering, faculty, technical and supporting staff, the present and past heads of institution and present and past heads of departments, the institute administration, non-teaching staff, and all present, past and present students of NITW for the help and support rendered in discharge of my duties. I thank all my family members, my friends and students who traveled far and wide to attend this function. Thank you one and all. And once again, I say NITW first, NITW second, and NITW always. For me, NITW is my breath and my life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request Dr. Y. Chandrasekhar to present the vote of thanks.
Madam, you want to speak anything? Please, madam. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening. I would like to thank our beloved director, Professor N.V. Raman Rao garu, and Hitachi Energy, the sponsor of this program. Okay, and I would like to thank our NITW administration, deans, professors, okay, for continuous encouragement to conduct this type of program. And a special thanks to Hitachi Energy, especially Venu sir, MD CEO of Hitachi Energy, and Aklur Rahman and Mohan sir. And I would like to thank our department HOD, teaching and non-teaching staff, and PhD and MTech students for their work towards the successful conduction of this program. And a special thanks to our guest of the day, Professor N. Subrahmanyam and Madam, for accepting our invitation. And yeah. And I would like to thank all the participants and audio video section of the NITW and all the participants attending this program. Thank you very much. All of you please rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे